I've been thinking a lot lately about negativity. Have you ever noticed how popular negative things are? Videos of people behaving badly, bad things happening to people, negative stuff gets clicks and views. I'm just wondering if we're subjecting ourselves to too much negativity, though. Even fun negative stuff, like Trashcast, for example. That's a funny show. Ethan Van Sciver does an excellent job. His presentation is great. Everything works out really well. He's really good at doing that type of show. But I'm wondering if all we do is see negative things and talk about negative things, whether it's entertaining or not, is that even any good for us? When I go out in the real world, I don't see very much negativity at all. I know there are bad things happening in some places, but I think that the internet would have you believe that everything is terrible everywhere because that's almost all that they show. There are very few feel good shows. Years ago, I think there was something, one of the TV networks did a show. Uh, I think it was called What Would You Do? Or maybe it was a segment on a show. And they'd have actors play out something in public. Uh, Somebody who went up to register at a grocery store and didn't have enough money, to pay for what they had, and they had things like diapers and baby food there, and they would wait to see what people would do, and almost all the time somebody behind the person, chipped in some money or maybe even paid for the whole thing. That was a really kind of interesting uh, show. I watched a lot of clips of that on YouTube a few years back, and that was surprisingly, you know, good and positive type of an example. But there's so much more out there now that's all negative, people behaving badly. And I mean, just look at Twitter, all the different viral videos of really bad stuff happening, you know, people punching people walking down the street, people stealing all kinds of stuff, uh, just all the negative stuff. And, it goes deeper into things like race baiting and all of that, where we're looking at, extreme examples, but even just general negative stuff, just an average person, nondescript, doing something negative, and it gets big online. Uh, Now, I'm thinking a little bit more about these things. Apparently, the controversy with Ed Piskor, who apparently I never had heard of before, he's a comic book guy, I guess, and he got canceled very harshly in the last few days. Right or wrong, I'm not making any judgment at all about what he did, but now there's talk online of him having produced a suicide note, and there's questions going on whether he's even still alive at the moment or not. And you look at that and you say, again, regardless of what you think of him, whatever, was that amount of negativity about him really necessary? Sure, the way Ethan provided it, he presented it, it was entertaining, but I'm wondering if that adds to the problem. And then that's obviously a very serious case, but there are other far less serious cases. Uh, the the Rippaverse stuff. How negative should people be about what's going on there? Now, that's not life and death exactly, but then I don't know who the employees are that Eric has and what happens to them if Eric does go out of business. All right, supposedly he has 15 warehouse employees. Maybe he has a few other people that he's paying for producing comics. He's got that community manager woman that he who had been canceled somewhere else, and he brought her on. That's stuff that is at least admirable, regardless of whether Eric has a big ego or can't take criticism or things like that. How heavy should we go on something like that? Uh, I even commented in a chat or two where some people were saying, enough is enough. Let Eric up. Don't keep pouncing on him. And There's only one thing that bothers me seriously about what Eric has done. Uh, and the only thing that, I don't care if he, got into bad arguments and debates and so forth. And even if he said stupid things, I don't care that much about that. You know, the commentary on him is kind of funny in that way for that type of stuff. The only thing he did, though, that I thought was a little unforgivable was his tweet about Katie did. That one bothers me a lot. It was all about the dog stuff. Anybody who might actually watch this video, if anybody, probably would know what I'm talking about. It was a tweet. He didn't name her, of course, but everybody knew who he was talking about. That doesn't excuse it. Sure, in a court of law, I didn't name anybody, could be anybody, but everybody in this space knows exactly who he was talking about. Now, if it had been just one of his fans, then that would be just, ripetard stuff. Who cares? But it was himself doing that. So, of all the stuff that Eric has done, that's the only thing that really bothers me that I think is serious. But other than that, maybe the time has come to, not keep beating this dead horse. I think what Eric should do is he should actually apologize for that one. And whether he takes criticism or anything in the future on anything else doesn't matter. But that one thing paints him very negatively. A man does not do that type of thing. No man should talk about a woman that way. And Eric was completely wrong. I don't care what kind of argument you present, you can't make a good argument for that. And Eric needs to apologize to save his reputation as a man. So, anyways, but back on to negativity itself. I mean, I'm seeing it in everything now. Almost all the stuff I'm reading, seeing is all negative stuff. And I'm concerned what that does to us as people. I'm concerned what effect it's having on me. I'm getting more and more negative myself now, and I don't want to be there. Uh, there are so few people in the space really presenting positive things. Not everything is negative. A lot of things are neutral, but there's almost no really positive things going on. The one person I know that actually makes an effort to be positive is Nina Infinity with her Infinite Hope show that she has once a week. And that's a really good idea. Now, I know it's not incredibly popular. Some of her other stuff gets a lot more views and a lot more attention, but there should be more positive things like that. Uh, Somewhere, some channels got to put something together that highlights more positive things. Geeks and Gamers has so many channels. It'd be nice if they actually had one that was, all positive stuff. Let Krista Nova run it or something, to get somebody positive in there. But, what are we going to do? I mean, negative and harsh things and all of that get clicks and views, and positive stuff doesn't. So I don't know how you make any kind of a change to this, but I think people ought to try to think of other stuff to do, and maybe on the negative stuff, tone some of it down, uh, or at least don't keep going on and on forever about it. And this is really interesting because it wasn't just a couple of days back I was thinking, yeah, this Trashcast stuff should keep going on forever. This is really funny. And now, with a more serious view of things, I'm saying, oh, maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't highlight just the negative like that. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys all think? If anybody watches this, try to comment on it and let me know for real. Do you see positive things? Are there positive things I'm missing? Can you link to positive things? Are you making positive things yourself? It'd be nice to know. Anyways, we're gonna call an end to this, and I'll post it up as a video on my YouTube channel. So see you all later.